Hey, it's Christina. In today's video, I'll be showing you a 15-minute heart opening sequence. So to start out, come into child's pose by touching your toes together, separating your knees slightly apart, relaxing your torso over your thighs, and setting your forehead onto the floor. You can modify this child's pose for a bit deeper of a heart opening to start with a reverse namaste behind your neck. So placing your hands to meet each other right behind your neck here, leaving your elbows on the floor, and think about reaching your heart center down between that space right in between your legs. Think about opening your chest and stretching the back of your arms and your shoulders and just breathing and coming inward, setting the intention of heart opening for today, not only in a physical way but also in an emotional way as well. Take one more deep breath here and slowly release your hands, bringing them back down onto the floor. You can come up onto your knees now, bringing your shin bones parallel to one another. Your knees are right underneath your hips. Tuck your toes, then walk your hands forward about 6 inches. Drop your head down onto the floor and just open that chest even deeper than you were in child's pose now. So think about reaching that heart center even further down towards the floor, finding that slight arch in your back, opening your armpits down towards the ground as well. You can close your eyes here if that's comfortable for you, and just stay for another moment and continue to breathe deeply, allowing each exhale to move your heart center further and further down towards the floor, opening your chest even wider. Take one more deep breath here. And slowly now come back onto your hands and knees. And then drop your hips down from here, coming right into a full Cobra pose, Bhujangasana. Try not to lock into your elbow joints here. Keep those arm muscles active as you hold yourself in this arch. Spread your collarbones wide. Reach energy up through the crown of your head. And send those hip bones down towards the floor. Take another deep inhale. And on your exhale, slowly peel yourself back down onto the floor. Bring your forehead down. From here, bring your arms down by your sides, bringing the top of your hands down onto the floor. Getting ready to come into Shalabhasana. So take a deep inhale and then lift your head, your shoulders, and your legs off the ground, energetically reaching backwards with your hands and feet and reaching up and forwards with the top of your head. The whole back body should be working here, and you should also still be thinking about that heart opening wide. And on your next exhale, bring yourself back down onto the floor and turn onto your left cheek, resting it on the ground. Take a breather, and then we'll come into another Shalabhasana. So after a few mindful deep breaths, we'll get ready to turn our forehead back down onto the ground and take another deep inhale as you reach your whole body up, lifting from those muscles in your entire back body and still thinking about reaching that heart center forward, opening your shoulders wide, really stretching the front of your shoulders and the collarbones in that area. At the same time as you're thinking about reaching your hands and feet backwards, think about reaching your heart forward. And now take an exhale and release yourself down, turning your head to the left. Bring your right cheek to rest on the ground as you take a few deep breaths before we come into Shalabhasana one more time. Turn your head back to the center, placing your forehead on the floor, getting ready to take a deep inhale and lift yourself back up into Shalabhasana, reaching your hands and feet backwards, energetically reaching that heart center forward. Take a few deep breaths here. You should be feeling yourself moving up and down as you breathe slightly. And go for one final reach upwards and take an exhale and drop down. Place your palms flat on the floor and press yourself back into a child's pose by touching your toes together, separating your knees to the width of your mat, so a little wider than usual, and then drop your forehead down onto the floor. As you remain in your child's pose here, think about reaching that heart center down towards the ground and opening your shoulders and your armpits, pressing your hips towards your heels gently as you relax here and come back to your breath. Slowly come out of your child's pose and step back into a plank. From your plank, keep your body in one straight line and lower yourself onto your belly, untucking your toes, bringing your forehead to the floor. Align your hands with your ribs and then press up into a full Cobra pose once again. Slowly sending those hips down towards the ground, feeling your back arching, trying not to lock into your elbows, lifting up through the crown of your head. Slowly peel yourself down onto the floor. Your head is the last thing to reach the ground. And then once again, bring your hands down by your sides, tops of your hands on the floor. Getting ready to come into Shalabhasana. Take an inhale and lift your body up one more time, your torso and your legs. And reach backwards with your feet and your hands. Reach up with the crown of your head. Reach your heart center forward, energetically reaching. Take one more breath here, one more reach, challenging yourself, and then lower slowly onto the floor. Turn onto one side of your face and rest for a moment. Take a few deep breaths. Come back to your breathing. Turn your head back to the center, bring your forehead to the floor, and on your next inhale, reach up once again. Thinking about that heart reaching forward, opening your shoulders as you're reaching backwards with your hands and your feet. You're reaching up with your legs, back body, the top of your head. And now slowly set the other side of your face down onto the floor, resting for a moment, coming back to your breath. Turning your head back to the center, place your forehead on the ground. This time, bend your knees and grab hold of the outer edges of your ankles. Just as we did in Shalabhasana, on your inhale, lift your head and your shoulders off the ground and your legs, coming into Dhanurasana or bow pose, using your arms and your legs to help pull your back up. Hold here for one more deep breath and slowly release, bringing one side of your face down on the floor, keeping hold of your ankles because we're going to come into this one more time. Coming back to your breath for a moment. And getting ready to come into the other side. Turn back to the center. Take a deep inhale and lift back up into Dhanurasana. Since your legs are reaching up as well, it pulls your arms back, allowing your chest to open further, creating a back bend and also allowing your heart center to open and create space in the front of your chest. On your next exhale, slowly lower your head back down onto the floor. Rest here for a moment, coming back to your breath. And then let go of your legs, bring your palms flat on the floor, and sit back once again into a modified child's pose with your legs as wide as your mat, allowing for some space in between those legs for your heart center to reach forward, opening your shoulders once again, getting into those hips as well as you slowly sit those hips back towards your heels as you breathe. Slowly lift out of your child's pose, come back into your plank. From there, lower into your Chaturanga Dandasana by hovering above the ground 2 inches and then pressing into your upward facing dog and then right into your downward facing dog from there. Sending your hips up and back. Still thinking about reaching that heart center down towards the floor or back towards your legs. So even in this down dog, still focusing on heart opening, using all the back bending that we've done, thinking about opening those shoulders. And on an inhale, raise your heels, bend your knees, and then set your knees down onto the floor, coming up onto your knees. We're getting ready to come into Ustrasana or camel pose. If you struggle with back flexibility at this time, you might want to grab some blocks and set them on the outer edges of your feet so you can hold on to those instead. Otherwise, engage your abdominals and slowly reach back towards your heels, placing one hand on each heel, and then reach your head backwards and reach your hips forward, coming into Ustrasana, into the back bend here, breathing deeply as you hold. You want to keep your legs hips distance and parallel to one another and still think about opening that chest even wider, reaching that heart center up towards the sky. Take one more deep breath here and engage your abdominals now, slowly bringing yourself back up onto your knees, coming into a child's pose once again, touching your toes together, and then relax your torso over your thighs. Breathing and coming back to your breath as you set your forehead down and start to relax. Slowly release back up Out of your child's pose, come back onto your knees, bringing your shin bones parallel to one another, hips distance apart. Getting ready to come into Ustrasana one more time by engaging your abdominals and slowly bringing your hands to your feet and then pressing your hips forward, releasing your head back. Focusing on opening those shoulders, reaching that heart center up towards the sky, towards the ceiling, opening the front body, coming into a back arch. To come out, engage your abdominals and mindfully bring your torso back up, coming back onto your knees, and make your way now to lying on your back. Hug your knees in towards your chest, holding onto your shins. You can gently rock from side to side if you'd like. If that's uncomfortable, just stay still. And coming into a light twist. After all those back bends, it's good to twist. So drop your knees down to the left and then twist your upper body to the right, keeping that right shoulder on the floor, looking over your right shoulder. You can close your eyes if you'd like. Come back to your breathing. Feel your spine twisting. Slowly bring your knees back to the center and then move into the other side, dropping both legs to your right and looking over to your left, keeping your left shoulder on the ground. Reach that arm out to the side. Once again, coming back to your breath, feel your spine twisting in the opposite way, closing your eyes if you'd like. Slowly bring your knees back to the center. Rock from side to side once again if you'd like. Hug those knees in. And now you can come into normal Shavasana, lying on your back, separating your legs slightly apart and relaxing there. Or you can use two blocks as I've set up here in kind of a T shape. And you could take your meditation here if you'd like by placing the horizontal block right underneath your shoulder blades and place the vertical block underneath your head. Then place your feet to meet each other and separate your knees out to the side. Bring your arms out to the side and turn your palms up towards the ceiling. Close your eyes and come back to deepening your breath. If you're resting here, this just reinforces that heart opening theme that we've gone throughout the practice today. So as you lay here, imagine your heart center reaching up towards the sky and feel your shoulders dropping down towards the floor. If this is too intense still for your shoulders, you can always roll a blanket or a thick towel and then set it right along your spine, resting underneath your head and your spine, and allow your shoulders to fall down towards the floor. It just provides a little bit of a less intense back bend, still allowing you to benefit from more heart opening as you meditate here. Bring slight motion back into your body now. And when you're ready, roll onto the right side, gently rolling off of the blocks. So carefully remove them from your back and head. Just rest on the right side of your body for a moment with your arm underneath your head, your legs bent. Use your hands to help you come to a seated, cross-legged position. You can sit on your block if you'd like for a bit more lift. If not, just sit on the floor. Cross your shins in front of you. Bring your hands to your knees and close your eyes. Sit up tall on those two sits bones at the bottom of your pelvis. Breathe deeply. Take a moment to feel the difference now in the front of your chest. Perhaps you're feeling more open, not only physically, but also emotionally, as we've worked on really opening up those shoulders, opening that heart center. Bring your hands to meet now at the center of your chest. Bow your head to your fingertips. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Namaste.